All right, Happy New Year. Are you ready to start the new year off right? Are you going to be going to the gym? Yeah, we know by February you're going to be, forget that nonsense. How about losing weight? Is that your resolution? Yeah, we love to yo yo and drop a bunch of pounds and then put on more. The
Yes.
best New Year's hack is coming up right after this. Welcome, everybody. I'm Scott Patton, your co host. Joining me, as usual, is Martin Patella, a health coach at Life Enthusiast, and George. Happy New Year, George. Happy to have you here. And George is very excited. Why? Because Ohio State is marching towards national championships.
What in the world?
Let us know if they keep going.
I don't know what that means. Is that a championship in marching?
College football.
Oh, okay. College football.
I don't follow it, but I hate to tell you, George, I do have a Notre Dame T-shirt, the Fighting Irish.
Uh-huh. Well,
All right.
I do yoga. Having grown up in Europe, it's totally not prepared me for the American football experience.
That's right. That's right. It's big from now till February when the Super Bowl hits. All right. Oh, before I forget, everybody, we have one thing that I always want to say right off the top. We're going to be going on Telegram right after the show and answering all of your questions there. So we are uncensored because a lot of what we say here, if we say what we really think, you know what happens. Bzzz, we disappear. In fact, we just got a
Another
notice.
kick. Yeah, another kick in the shin. We have reached.
And you know what they picked on was the minutest little thing. It wasn't even really like anti something or other.
There's a specific word that the AI latches on. So you cannot say this and you cannot say that, because if you do, boom, off you go. And so this is YouTube, owned by Google, owned by CIA. Thank you very much, boys.
Yeah. And of course, I always protest. You can say, hey, that's not right. So I did that. And of course, I haven't heard anything back.
No, we sinned. We have used the wrong word.
Yes. George has sympathy for us and calls it tyranny. And I totally agree. Oh, yeah. He's, correct. He's putting too many comments in. I was clicking and then it slides up and I clicked on the wrong one. I thought,
so he feels sorry for me because I have not grown up playing football. Listen, I played soccer. I was fine. There was nothing wrong with me. Playing soccer is so much cheaper than playing football. I did not need helmets and pads and this and that, all of that, a gladiator outfit. I needed none of it.
All right. So it's the new year, Martin. Everybody wants to create New Year's resolutions. And what can we do to help these poor people who in a couple months are going to be in a state of distress?
Toxicity, malnutrition, stagnation, and trauma. That's exactly the order in which this happens. At Christmas, you load yourself with stuff that is going to toxify you. And you will malnourish yourself by not eating enough of the nutrient-rich foods that you should be eating. And then you will suffer stagnation because you'll be on your ass in front of the television watching football. And finally, your team will lose and you will experience trauma.
Yes, anger. I follow the hockey and my team is playing terrible right now. And it's just like, devastating. And so, of course, what have I got? I have a cold. I am detoxifying.
Because you probably landed somewhere where people fed you food other than what you're used to, right?
Yes. Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's the toxicity. Here's what happens. You shift the internal pH, right? By pushing the wrong kind of foods, you dysregulate, especially the levels of what's it called? Insulin go up because As you eat more starchy things, you are ending up with more of the insulin resistance as a result of the too much glucose happening in your circulation. And then your body says, time to dump it. And it starts dumping through mostly runny noses and achy joints.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the stuff coming out is just amazing. I don't want to say any more.
Yeah. I remember when I first discovered natural healing, and I put myself on a proper protocol. For about 3 weeks, it felt like somebody attached a garden hose to my face. It just kept running and running and running. 3 solid weeks. Every 10 minutes, I would go to a sink and blow my nostrils out, because if I tried to do it with Kleenex, I would have rubbed my face raw up to here.
Right.
So I have sympathy for all of those who have overindulged during Thanksgiving and Christmas, who started feeling sluggish, didn't do enough movement. So all of the things that we need to do to undo it is 1, walk, bounce, jump, run.
Right.
Lymphatic massage is an awesome thing. If you feel like giving yourself a gift, go have somebody do it for you, to you. Lymphatic massage, just running all of the lymph nodes through the channels and all of that. Now, if you need to do self-serve, many do, there's this thing called dry skin brushing. Best look it up. Go to YouTube, the place where everything is found, and type in dry skin brushing. And then follow the instructions. It's essentially done with a brush is good, done with a cotton, so what is it called? A towel that's got fluffy surface is acceptable. And you brush toward over here. This right here under your clavicles is where the lymphatic system connects to your whole blood system or circulatory system. So you need to get it from the tips of your fingers up your arms all the way through the elbows over to here. And then you need to do the same thing from the toes on your feet upward, up the legs, up the belly, up all the way up to here, just brushing. And same on the back.
So George, the nodes. George says he drinks lymphatic cleaner
7 days a week.
Wow.
Remember, George told us about that. He gave us the recipe 2 weeks ago. We did publish it.
Yeah.
Yep, shims too, of course, every part.
Yeah.
Like if you're bored out there, look for the lymphatic system map. It's well published. The major nodes are at the back of your knees, in your groin, where the thigh folds to the belly, and then of course all over here, right? Like there are lymph nodes right here in the neck, so you can pump them. Like you can just go push to pump them. And if you're going to drain the head, you need to start from below because it's a cascade. Don't start at the top, start here. So push the neck, and then over here, under here, and then in front of the ears, behind the ears, under here, and then next to the nose over here, and then inside of the arches of the eyes, all of that. Those are all the little spaces that you can feel a little hollow spot. That's where the lymph is, and you pump on it like this. Push. Not poke, just gentle pumping. And you will cause this. So start from here and work your way up and towards the center, and it will start draining. And when you drain that, this is also, Scott, for you. You can help this drainage. Start here. And yeah, there he goes with an overwhelming urge to press stuff upward out of his lungs and out of his nose and all of that.
So George is a wild man. He gets wild oregano and olive oil or coconut, and that gets those lymphatic ducts draining.
Yeah, he
Duct,
spells ducks really funny.
yeah.
So,
He
yeah, he
spelled that
corrected
kind of
himself.
pain, right?
So this is interesting. Of course, we at Life Enthusiast, we are a commercial enterprise. We do sell oregano in olive oil. It's on our website. It's called Oreganol, NOL, and it's by North American Herb and Spice, an awesome company. They harvest this stuff in Turkey in the mountains, and it's awesome, high quality stuff. Not all oreganos are made equal.
Yeah. And then he drinks oregano oil 7 days a week. George, I have tried and tried, and it is just really, really tough to get down.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then he brings up rebounding. You often talk about rebounding, Martin. That's a really
so
good thing to
Solar
do.
Warden is a different person from George, right? We have another visitor here.
Hi, Solar Warden.
Solar Warden. That would be a person who keeps the sun in check.
It's probably a solar panel person. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Solar. Glad to have you here.
Mr. Warden, or maybe it's a Mrs. Warden.
All right. So we had 3 products that we wanted to talk about that are relatively new. When we've only got about 15 minutes before we head over to Telegram. So let's talk about which one should we talk about? Let's talk about Genki, because one of the things that people have a real problem with is the health of their gut.
Yeah.
And that's, if we can get your gut working, that's a big part of the problem.
Right. Genki is an awesome company. We've actually dealt with them for the long time, and their product is included in our Exula Strataflora. But we also sell it in capsules for people who are too wussy. But even in the capsules, it smells really strong. To explain what that is, what they do is they take grains and they sprout them. So now we have sprouted grains, and we put those and push them into the sauerkraut process. And so this sauerkraut process, that's the same thing that as you would be processing cabbage and using lactobacilli to eat all of the carbohydrates out of it and convert them into lactic acid. That's what does happen. And then when it's all done, they drain the water and they mill it and dry it, or dry it and mill it and put it in capsules. So there you have it. 2-3 of those a day, and all of your intestinal problems are gone away.
Oh,
We have 2 versions. One is called gluten-free and the other one is the plus. So the person who is troubled by gluten can go gluten-free grains. This one has a few grains in it that may trigger the gluten people. And it's an awesome product.
All right. And then the next one we want to talk about is herb shilajit.
Yeah.
And
that's a new thing.
Fulvic and humic acid, which is so important to have in your diet.
Yeah. So you hear about humic and fulvic, or humate, right? Humate is the name where humus comes from. That's actually the compost juice, if you will. So you can get that. We do sell plain humic, plain fulvic, but shilajit is in a class of its own. This thing comes from mountains, specifically somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 feet of elevation. And it comes from 2 different mountain ranges, either from Himalayas or from the Altai mountains. And the stuff that we have comes from the Altai. Altai is it's sort of north of Mongolia, south of Russia, between the sort of Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. It's so remote. It's unbelievable how remote it is. But anyway, this stuff is from something that's about 40 million years old. It was piled under the mountains when the Indian subcontinent plowed into Asia about 50 million years ago. So that's how it came by. And it's quite rare. And it's especially rare to have it in high concentration because this thing is easily adulterated. And we sell it in a nice, pure form in the capsules. It's a very, very good value. So for those of you who really want to remineralize your body, Shilajit is awesome. And what does this remineralize mean? Parasites like to invade bodies that have low zeta potential, low mineralization. So when you start taking this sort of stuff, you're going to raise the mineral level throughout your body in all cells, and you will cause the parasites to really not enjoy the terrain. They don't like the concentration.
Nice. And then last one we're going to talk about, as we're running out of time, is one of my favorite new products, Masterpeace.
Yeah, this thing is in a class of its own. Zeolite is a good thing. We sell zeolite in multiple ways. We sell zeolite in powder, capsules, liquids, all of that. That same zeolite that we sell in those other forms has been used in Masterpeace. And Masterpeace is a combination of zeolite, also of marine plankton, or marine plasma, I should say. The plankton causes the plasma to become available in the oceans. There's a special time during a bloom. There's this spring bloom when all of these microbes, start whatever it is they do. All the conditions in the ocean somehow become right. Mineralization, temperature, sunshine, all of that comes together. All of a sudden, there's this bloom. And that bloom is attended by all the shrimp and other crustaceans that are eating the little guys. And then the whales show up and start eating it by the tons and all of that. So that bloom that gives rise to all of this explosion of life force in the ocean is what's collected and put inside of that bottle. It's super beneficial. It's nourishment, right? So with zeolite, you take away the toxins. With marine plasma, you push in nutrients. So you're reviving the cells. And the third thing that's happening here is vibrational consciousness, level of consciousness pushed in. It's the vibration of wisdom and understanding that they put in. It's one of those things that will A, detoxify you, B, remineralize you, and C, give your brain this health where emotional processing can take place. It's just awesome stuff.
Yeah. So Martin, I mean, I use it all the time. I take it 3 times a day. I put about 4 or 5 drops under the tongue, hold it there, and away you go. Is that the proper way to take the Masterpeace?
Twice a day is enough, but if you do 3 times, you're going to probably put yourself in a detox. Maybe you're overdoing your Masterpeace.
Yeah, maybe that's
George says he uses the powder, which is awesome. That's great. Differential charge and ionization by pulling out of the body. I'm reading this Solar Warden comment, the last one. I'll just hit it here. List of differential charge ionization. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So what you're describing is the standard chemistry of oxidation and reduction. Oxidation is taking away of the electron. Reduction is giving back of the electron. And of course, ions are either one excess or 2 excess electrons, or or lacking one or two, right? And so in chemistry, it's shown as plus or plus plus. Like, for example, calcium is two pluses. It's looking for two electrons, right? So the carbon trioxide, yeah, the CO3 carboxyl, it's called, will connect to calcium, and you have Ca2 CO3 or something like that. All these things connected. Chemistry of balancing things. Anyway, so the point about the Zeolite Masterpeace, we have had so many amazing stories come with it. People with all kinds of inflammatory conditions, metabolic conditions, all those, the neurological problems that make your brain function incorrectly, the too much anxiety or nervousness or lack of focus or inability to concentrate, every sort of a thing that you see that has been happening to children at the back end of the silly practices of jabbing, all of that is supremely alleviated by Masterpeace. Yeah, so we get to feel better. And two other important things happen with people. They start dreaming in color, and the ones who already dream in color start calling it lucid dreaming, where they actually are in the dream and they're actually able to interact with the dream. Most times it starts with the pleasant dreams, but if you have traumatic issues that need to be resolved, they will also get processed. So you will give rise to both to happy dreams and also to what we would label nightmares, difficult dreams, your consciousness processing things that you would just as soon keep inaccessible. But it's a good thing, because once you process it, it no longer burdens you. Yeah. I have lost Scott. I don't know why.
I just gave you the stage, and I want to remind everybody that we'll be uncensored on Telegram next, t.me/life and co. And I put the link in the description. If you're watching this later, you'll be able to go to that same link and watch the replay or watch the video of us. You obviously won't be live. And Martin, do you have a final tip for the new year? How to start it off right?
I don't know. I'd get preachy. Alcohol is really not good for you. Take it under advisement. Exercise, on the other hand, is really good for you. So I don't know if you overdid and overindulged. Metabolic typing is one of those things that you should possibly contemplate getting at Life Enthusiast. Once you know your type, you will know how to construct your meals so that you stay well, or at least restore wellness. That would be my tip of the day. Metabolic typing rules. Exercise is awesome. If you can't get any exercise, just try to have sex.
All right. That's everyone will be happy about that.
Yeah.
I would add to it is take a look at your lifestyle. And you have, George says, I'm feeling invigorated already. Yay.
Yay, George.
Because we live in a society where every month, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, there is a feast, whether it's Thanksgiving and Christmas or Super Bowl and Easter or barbecues in the summer. And so this is baked into our DNA. We grow up having these feasts followed by a little bit of famine. And that's a really unhealthy process. But to fight against societal pressures is not easy. And it's not easy to go to a Christmas dinner and, not eat 3 plates of turkey. So,
Yeah.
but the result of that is 70% of the population is obese or morbidly obese. So you have to make a decision whether you want to do what everybody else is doing and get the results everybody else is doing, or if you want to be the, black sheep of the family and do weird things according to everybody around you, but have your health. And I have to tell you, at almost 70 years old, surrounded by people that are taking 30 drugs a day, I'm exaggerating only slightly, it's a lot better to be drug free, and it's like, yeah. So take a look at your life, take a look at your lifestyle. This is the time to do it and decide if there's changes that you want to make. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, George, it's tough. It's tough.
Right.
Get carrots and celery and put them out on a plate when you're watching the football game instead of Doritos and a beer.
Yeah, you'll be better for it. So a bit of famine is a good thing. Okay. It's okay to practice both extreme. It's great to feast, overindulge. That's cool. But please follow it up with a couple of days as equally intense famine, not eating.
Yeah, fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, we're fastingly running out of time, and we're going to head over to t.me/life and co. And join us there. We'll answer all of your questions, and we'll see you next week, Thursday at 11:30 Pacific, and that is 2:30 Eastern. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is the Life Enthusiast podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet.
All the best to you. Thank you, George.